This is Mr. Deegan back at it. I'm in room D226 reporting live. It's Unit 2, Lesson 424 VidNotes. Please get out your packets and write the learning target. I will understand how the ideas of the Enlightenment and the unfairness of British policies provoked debate and resistance by the American colonists. Here's a protest poster from the 1700s. No taxation without representation. On we go. It's the British-French rivalry that leads to conflict in the American colonies. The rivalry in North America between Britain and France led to the French and Indian War, in which the French were driven out of Canada and their territories west of the Appalachian Mountains. The French lose, and the British kick them out of their land. As a result of the French and Indian War, Britain took several actions that angered the American colonies and led to the American Revolution. How does the British win versus France make life hard for the colonies? Well, Britain puts in place the Proclamation of 1763, which prohibited, aka banned, settlement west of the Appalachian Mountains, a region that was costly for the British to protect. Here's a map. The yellow are all of the American colonies. See this red line that goes south, south? This is the Proclamation line of 1763. And Britain said to the American colonists, "You can't go past this line." And the colonists were angry about that. How else does life become hard for the colonists? The British used new taxes on legal documents called the Stamp Act, tea, and sugar to pay costs of the French and Indian War and for British troops to live in the colonies and protect colonists. The British taxed the colonies, and if you were to send a letter, you had to put this stamp on a piece of paper. The British made you. How did the American Revolution begin? Reason one, the Boston Tea Party took place. It was a political protest in which the Sons of Liberty, here they are to the right in this picture, protest group dressed up like Indians in 1773. You see their headdresses here, and destroyed a shipment of tea sent by the British East India Company. The group boarded the ships and threw the tea into the Boston harbor. Here you see them with axes destroying the tea and dumping it overboard. How did the American Revolution begin? Reason number two, the First Continental Congress was called to meeting in 1774, and they met in this building in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. All of the colonies except Georgia sent representatives. It was the first time most of the colonies had acted together. Reason number three for why the American Revolution began: the Boston Massacre took place in 1770 when British troops fired on anti-British demonstrators. Here are the British redcoats firing on the American colonists. You see a bloodied man on the ground. 5 American colonists died. But who started this fight? Was it the British with their guns, or were these colonists drunk and throwing rocks? We'll talk about that in class. The fighting of the Revolutionary War began in April 1775 when the Minutemen in Massachusetts fought a brief skirmish, a small fight, when British troops at Lexington and Concord. 8 American colonists died in this fighting. And here you see the battlefield at Lexington and Concord in this painting. We are almost done with our lesson. Please think of a question you'd like to ask based on the information we've just learned and write it down in your VidNotes. That's for 3 points. Once you're done writing, you are done with this lesson. This is Mr. Deegan reporting from room D226. Until next time, enjoy.